Hey everyone, how's it going? So, quite the interesting day we had. I want to go over some. Hopefully, I can squeeze this in one video. Um, I'm just going to talk about the put side. You know, if you're selling put spreads and stuff like that. If you were selling covered calls, then you kind of got the idea of why you needed to be selling covered calls, and you were good. So, I'm not going to really go over that. You should see what happened and see why you need to be doing it. You could have chosen, it was this 350, it was this 340 the other day. So really it's going to be why I use the highest open interest is because I know it's not going to go over those, but I mean, you can if you want to. Ultimately, the perfect scenario is going to be between 320 and 330. Anyway, up there, it's not going to matter. And then that was their perfect scenario. So we said Apple will not go below 320, and it did, and it will not go above 340, 350, whatever in there, and it did. Let me get with the today is a perfect example of why you cannot do too many contracts more than you're comfortable. You need to do these as a stop loss strategy already. Just set it one time, and here's what I'm willing to risk, and I'm gonna prove them wrong. Um, that's that's why, because like yesterday Apple came down to this 318, and today 319, whatever. But you may have gotten scared out if you had too many contracts on. You would have been, oh man, I'm just gonna lose everything. Emotions get involved, and you're gonna close out early. So that's why go with whatever size you're comfortable losing, and go with that. And then there's no harm in doing that. If you only sell, oh, I'm only comfortable losing $400 or whatever, and you take in $1 credit, that's fine. Then if Apple's right here when you do it, if Apple keeps going this way, well, that's good. And keeps going this way, that's good. You only risk that. And if Apple stays there, well, then go ahead and you feel more comfortable. Go ahead and put on a few more, put on a few more. And if Apple starts going this way, then maybe come up and this creeps up, put on a few more. But just don't go just out of the gun, 50 contracts and just I got 25K on the line or whatever, because you're gonna freak out. At times, you always have to plan for the worst, just like this. So that's that. When I was saying too the other day, I let everything expire. I feel bad. I kind of been. That's not what I want you guys to do. I do that. It's one of those do as I say, not as I do. You're gonna need. It's prudent. A lot of people don't hold out until options expiration. Let's go back to, like, say 4 weeks ago. This 320. I sold this 315, and I had some, but I let it expire again. Um, so this, I think I sold this for 70 cents or so. So say at the time this was 90 cents, and within like that week, these gained like 70% right off the bat. It's best to go ahead and take that off, because go ahead and take that gain off, because more than likely it's going to come back to that 90 cents again, because you have another full 3 weeks. Something's going to happen. Take it off and then just reapply it again, or go do a different strike or something like that. But that's what you need to be doing. That's what's best, because you want to have as least time exposure as you can. Um, that's the prudent thing to do. If you want to hold out, that's gonna be up to you. Um, yeah, so that's that. When I was telling you guys, and also if you did end up holding, you're like, no, it's gonna be above 320, and you really didn't like see something like this. Like, this is pretty unique, and there's only an hour left, or a day left even, and Apple's only 50 cents above, and this is down to 20 cents. Go ahead and close out, because it's not worth that risk, because anything can happen. So I just wanted to clear that up. Here is a little why we need to be selling options. Here's a little chart I made, same one on the site. Here's June 18 OpEx. And so Apple ended up closing right here at this 320. And like I said, it's the perfect scenario is below this and below this. So because it's done with strikes, it's going to be anywhere in between there. It doesn't matter, because these are just going to go to zero. These are going to go to zero. Now, what this is saying is 325 was the next strike to be absolutely worthless. These were pretty worthless down here, but they were 60 cents or whatever intrinsic value left. So these were absolutely worthless. So all these expired. And this represents, if this, because this is Thursday's open interest, if this is actually what it stayed, I don't, there's no way for me to know, but if this data stayed, it's 254,000 contracts expired worthless, or $564 million on the line. And over here, because it expired, these actually go down to 170 strike. I just have it because there's no reason, these dump off pretty fast. So this represents 130,000 contracts that expired worthless, or $415 million on the line. And so you can see this is real money. This is almost $1 billion that option buyers gave to option writers. So a little wealth transfer effect. Which side do you want to be on? Do you want to be on this side and this side, or do you want to just take a little sliver in here and hopefully you guessed right? Or do you want to use what they know? So that's what I'm trying to get at. And yeah, I mean, it just speaks for itself. There's a reason it's not going below this, because it'll start to eat in to this. And there's a reason why I'll have a, let me see here. Okay, so, well, that's it. I guess I can use that chart. Now let me show you what happened today and why things do. Why I knew for sure, maybe I let things expire just because I've been using the data for so long and I know. What you had happen is on Thursday, Apple came down to this 318 level, and I know for a fact that I would have stood my ground here, unless you just have massive volume. But for the most part, this will work. Apple came down here 318. Well, when everyone was buying these 320 strikes, it could have been months and months ago. You could have paid $20 for them. We'll just throw it. You paid $10 for them. So, and you bought them when Apple was here because you wanted some insurance. And then Apple stayed here. These went to $8, $7, $6, $5. You get the picture. So then they're only worth 50 cents now. You forget about them. And then Apple yesterday just starts diving, come down to this 318. Oh, wow. I totally forgot. And all these people cumulatively said, oh man, I'm going to get what I can out of them. Get this $2. So the only person with 1 day left is going to take this other side of this trade is going to be a commercial market maker. So you're going to do a sell to close. They have to buy it. They want to stay flat. To offset it, they have to buy shares. So it'll start to go up here because there's so much volume. Everyone's going to start to do it. It'll go on this side. Then you'll get short covering, which you saw. And so Apple went up to that 325 and closed. Fast forward to today. This is just unusual. I don't know what happened. Today was just the wild west. That's why, again, a lot of people don't hold until OpEx day, because things just get crazy sometimes. I'm not even gonna begin to explain what happened here, but for whatever reason, it did happen. So yeah, so Apple opened up today and then was 329 and then came all the way back down here for, like I said, who knows, whatever reason. And it dropped below that 318. Well, again, I'm going to call their bluff because I know for a fact, not guessing, I know as an actual market mechanism, people are going to, again, start closing these out. And the only one left to take the trade is going to be market makers. So they have to go long stock and it's going to go above it. And then now, and then Apple is just trading above and above. But that's a hedging effect from the market makers. But once it gets above that, people are not going to be wasting their time. Or I guess why it's going to be over this 322, because if Apple's right here, this 318, and come end of the day, your broker by will, or you or your broker by will or by force will start closing these out. It will be forced. And so you will have this whole interest right here just come all the way down here, and you will have a market maker though.